You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Thursday, welcome. This is Coaching from the Couch, live from the WBGR Sports Network studio. I am your host, CWall. Well, we got a couple of church announcements before I get all into it today. First, let me introduce my live studio audience. Some of the CWall team members today Nat is here. Nat has joined us, and Joy is here, and Matt is here, and they are here keeping me calm because just when you think there's a dull moment in DC sports, there's not ever, because we don't know what that word means. We don't know what dull and boring is. Let me grab my phone real quick. Thank you, babe. Thanks so much, Nat. But before we get going, there is a share button. I would love so much for you all to share this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. Join in the conversation live. There is a replay, yes, but there's nothing like joining while it's going on live. So, here we are. The day that we've all been waiting for. The day that has now trumped everything that I was going to talk about today. What has happened? This is the official Bye Bryce Harper segment. This is it. I done told y'all that I want to talk about Bryce no more. And what does he go and do? On a Thursday at that. My favorite day of the week. It is a Thursday. What does Bryce go and do? He goes and he officially signs with the Nationals rival, the Phillies. Matt already booing. Boo. What we say? What is it? 13 years, $330 million. Hey, listen. Good for you, Bryce. That's all I have to say. Good for you. Good for you. But now that he's officially gone, I've had to definitely just share some of my personal real thoughts since he's not coming back. Since he's going to hang out in Philly for the remainder of his career. Let me just say this. Bryce made it very clear that he was not interested in being a Washington National. I think, folks, if you paid attention to the clues, in my opinion, he made it very clear. It was great. It was a great run. And you know what? We'll always have that one MVP year he had. And we'll always have the home run derby from last year. That was nice. That was a lot of fun. That brought a lot of joy and happiness to all of us. But at the same token, I think Bryce had made it clear he wanted, test free agency. That's what free agency is for in every sport. In free agency, you are not necessarily tied to the organization that drafted you and where you have been and where you have built your base and your fans and just where people love you. You are not at all entitled to that at all. But it was very clear that this number right here is simply to say that he has the highest contract. It was just a number. It was a number. Hey, if he wants to spend the rest of his career in Philadelphia, Be my guest. But I would think that Philly would need to turn around a win. They better start winning with Bryce, because that would be a very just that's an investment right there. That's a real big investment. So if you're not winning off the break with the highest contract, then guess what? Then guess what you're doing? You'll only have Bryce and some booing fans in Philadelphia. So good luck to him. I mean, Philly is brutal. Philly is a brutal city. It's truly a brutal city. So, hey, we know that Bryce gets in a slump. Some players do. The greats do. And so the Philly fans not going to be feeling that annual Bryce Harper slump. He do it every year. He gets into a slump. And they paid him to be the leader and winner of that organization, to be the face of that franchise for the remainder of his career. And all I can say is good luck. But when you play the Nats, I hope Max and them bust you wide open. I hope it's all sorts of flames flying from that daggone baseball field. I was like, oh yeah, is this how we go? That's okay. But I hope it's a whole lot of heat coming off that joint. Because Bryce, truth be told, we would see Bryce in playoff mode and in big game mode. He didn't scare anybody. He didn't scare the big name pitchers. He didn't scare my dad. Used to say it all the time. He started saying it probably about 4 years ago. My father would always say, he would get so frustrated with Bryce Harper because he would say, Bryce isn't scaring anybody. These guys are not scared of Bryce. You that scared of him, just walk him. No, they out here, they striking him out. He's a tremendous household name. We had a lot of fun with Bryce. But I do think, and I've said this to you all in previous shows, is that I think the Nats knew that Bryce wasn't coming back, and they made adjustments. It wasn't like the Nats did not make any moves this offseason. The Nats did a very good job in making moves this offseason, and I think the Nats were going to be fine with or without Bryce. They're going to be okay. They're fine. So I think some fans may be more angry because it's the Phillies, right? And that's one of the things that I want to remind my fellow DC sports fans in general. These players, they can go where they want to go. And money talks. And that is why, quite frankly, and I even had to tell myself this, you cannot get tied to a player. You can't. Because they leave. If they get the option to leave, they very well may do so for whatever the reason may be. But, support your team, yes, absolutely. But when you get tied to players that you can't guarantee going to retire in your team's jersey, then that's why I stopped buying jerseys with names on them years ago. Don't even give me one with their names on it, because don't even hand me one with their names on it, because I'm over it early. Like I'm over it early. So this was my side number. Bryce, please don't do nothing else so that I ain't got to talk about you, because we knew, right? But it's the hot topic, and we got to talk about it now. We can officially say former Washington National Bryce Harper, and there's that. There's my Bryce is out. See ya. Like, for real. Like, I mean, when we first started hearing about the Phillies and the Phillies were the front runner, I mean, hey, I guess some people can feel like that's a dagger, that's a dart, but he has the highest contract. Again, I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my career in Philly, but hey, If he wanted some stability, perhaps this was a sign he wanted some stability. I don't think it was that smart of a deal. I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have looked at a shorter term deal to make more money, because there's an opportunity to make more money along the way, and sign with multiple teams over that 13-year time span. But hey, you got the highest contract now, buddy. Good luck to you. Hope you live up to the hype. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's real. Now that bye Bryce is over officially, let's get into it. Let's get into some more DC sports. I got some great updates. Let me shout out the Eleanor Roosevelt High School men's basketball team. They won the county championship this week. So go ahead on, Eleanor Roosevelt. Go ahead on, y'all. And shout out to the ladies at Charles H. Flowers High School. Their girls varsity basketball team. They beat Gwynn Park. So they are the county champs. Congratulations to you all. If you all know any of these kids, pat them on the back, give them a high five, and to the coaches and to the parents as well. Congratulations to you all. Having to support the children and everything in these sports is hard. That's difficult. You spend a lot of your time and just everything dedicated to the growth of these young men and women, and to see them come out and do something, like winning the championship is awesome at whatever level it is. So definitely kudos to all involved that have helped these young men and women achieve their goal. It's a wonderful thing. I want to also shout out the Prince George's Community College men's basketball team, who won the junior college division, the regional division championship over this past weekend. So shout out to PG Community College, my soror, and then not soror, President Charlene Dukes. Congratulations. I saw you all in the pictures, soror. We saw you. We was looking at their pictures. I was like, go ahead on, look at her. All in the pictures. So definitely want to shout PG out. Great job, fellas, and keep going, rock on. Georgetown, they beat DePaul. Good for them. Jesse Govan is he's on fire. 26 points. But at the same token, Georgetown hadn't won a game since last week. When I was here last week talking about when they beat Villanova. Right. So I'm glad when they do hop on. I'm glad that they on fire. Whenever I got to talk about them, please don't be sorry. That's one of my rules. You win some, you lose some, don't be sorry. And Georgetown was not sorry. So their record is now 17-11. Next up, they have Seton Hall. Then they got to play DePaul again. And then they're on to Marquette. And that's the end of the regular season. And then what's coming up. It's almost March time. Right. Come on here. I'll be smiling every week in March now. So yes, it's almost Big East, all the conference tournaments, and then we dealing with the big tournament. Now, here we go. And hello to everybody. Hello, everybody watching. My mom is watching. John Adams. Hey, Ron. Hey, everybody. So, the Terps. I might need to get some of my water here. But the Terps didn't look bad. So, the Terps did not look good. The men's basketball team. Now, see, little known fact about me. Whenever y'all see me move my chair like this, it's because it's something that's going to make my nerves bad. It's something that's stressing me out. So the Terps looked very bad. They got mollywopped by Penn State. I was like 78-61. Penn State crushed them. Maryland had 17 turnovers. Penn State did exactly what they were supposed to do. They monopolized on every single last one of those turnovers, and I believe they got 26 points off of turnovers. They got 2 games left. That's Maryland until it's Big Ten tournament time, but that didn't look good. Maryland's ranked at number 17. They had some impressive wins here as of late, but that didn't look too good. So I hope they get themselves together, because we always want to celebrate something in this area. So please, Maryland, we believe in you. We know y'all got the goods over there. So hopefully Next up, Michigan on Sunday. Hopefully, you close out the regular season strong, and then you're ready to be in the Big Ten tournament on fire. Let's hope so. Last Thursday, and I neglected to mention this to you all, so this may be a bit of old news for some of you. I may have shared with you all before that the XFL is coming to DC. A few cities will have an XFL football team. It will start in 2020, right after the Super Bowl, right after the NFL Super Bowl. And so last week it was announced that Pep Hamilton will be the coach of the XFL DC team. So I do go ahead and do a little shout out to the HBCU, but for the Howard alum in this room, he did go to Howard. So Pep is no stranger to this area, and he will be the coach of DC's XFL team. So I think that's fantastic. I mean, that's cool. You know, why not? Hey, welcome back, I should say. Welcome back, I should say. So
I missed the Howard shout out.
yeah, I mean, I only really included it in there for you. Because I was like, do I really even have to bring this up? So, yeah. So, DC United's regular season starts up this Sunday. The black and red is back and they are ready to go. So if you have an opportunity, definitely check out Audi Field. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. A wonderful, wonderful environment there. So they're getting kicked off this Sunday. It's a lot of games in the area. Different teams playing this weekend on Sunday. I guess that's every weekend, but I want to share the new bag policy. And here's why I think this is important to share. Seriously. Because many of the stadiums will start going to this new bag policy. You know, the different types of bag sizes and everything that you need. And I've been at Audi Field and just stood there and watched the number of people that bring these big bags and have all these bags. And, you know, you're basically taking the Metro or Ubering or Lyft or however you get there. There's not like you have you're parking somewhere and you can just walk back to the car. So it's all kinds of craziness. So let me just share really quick. Just remember, you know, no backpacks will be allowed. I mean, the cinch and drawstring bags that are the size specifications, those are allowed. Clear bags are not required, but it does have to meet that 14 by 14 by 6. Look it up. But anyway, just look it up. But just listen. Remember I said, please, you know, no coolers, no luggage, no large purses. Just don't get caught out there looking crazy. And then you're going to think about this moment. You're going to say, CWall told me not to bring this big bag out here. They have lockers. They do have lockers out there now. So you can definitely use a locker. But listen, just follow the rules so that you're not out there frustrated and it ruins your day. Because I've seen a lot of unhappy people out there. Going back to the Nets real quick, opening day tickets went on sale today. They probably already sold out. That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say about Nets opening day. And people are still excited. People are still excited about the Nets season. Let's not act like, you know, Bryce put a damper on our day. He ain't put no damper on our day. We're going to be just fine without him. Let's talk about the Wizards. Really quick updates about the Wizards. One being Dwight Howard. They won, first of all, hold on, they won last night, okay?
Yeah.
We don't get to, for some reason, whenever, you know, the show's on Thursday, we typically pass over the Wizards because when I can't report on a win. So, we can't. Matt, you already know. Y'all know. It's very seldom that I have the privilege in talking about a win in regards to the Wizards. But, you know, when they do, it just so happened they played last night and won. So, here we go. So, they did win last night. Dwight Howard traveled with the team. He will be playing soon. He was slated to come back in March anyway. So, it's about March. Today's February 28th. Tomorrow's March 1st. So, he's looking good. He's traveling with the team. So, that's a good sign. So, I guess soon we'll be off the welcome back Dwight. So hope he's doing better and he's all healed up from his injury. I couldn't even get it out almost. But at any rate, it's funny. As I was sitting there watching the game last night, I was thinking to myself, remember when the Nets used to be sorry? The Nets are actually good. Now, Spencer Dinwiddie did not play last night, but D'Angelo Russell is D'Angelo Russell is good. Now, that's all I'm going to say about him because I can't talk about him too much because this is a DMV sports talk show, okay? But the Wizards did what they needed to do to pull out the W. It was very good to see. They started out rough, meaning the Wizards, and they bounced back. That first quarter, the first few minutes, I don't think they scored until there was like 8 minutes and something into the game. That's where they were at that mark, the 8 minute 57 seconds mark, and they finally scored. And I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna be long. But they pulled it together. And actually, and we were joking about this before the show started, as bad as we talk about the Wizards, as much as we laugh at, like, good God, this is sad. Guess what? The Wizards are only 3 games out of the playoffs. Yeah. So it's not like it's the end of the world. Will they get put out of the first round of? Yes. But so what? Like, listen. Okay. We know that. But they're really, in real life, only 3 games out of the playoffs. So there's still hope. Hope. We back to holding on to hope over here. Let me shout out my man Bradley Beal. Okay, let me shout out Bradley Beal for a minute. Bradley Beal last night he needed 22 points and 6 assists to average 30 points and 7 assists in a month. And he's the first player in franchise history to do that because last night he ended up with 31 points. Bradley Beal is playing his behind off this season. And it was a few people that told me that Bradley Beal wasn't even good enough to make the All-Star team. I was like, I don't know what games you're watching. Now, let's be clear. I understand and know and realize that some people don't, they watch the scoreboard. So I get that. And even if you're playing very well and your stats are great, if it doesn't equal a win, it's like, who cares, right? It's not sexy, who cares? But let me tell you something. Bradley Beal is having a phenomenal year. I think this has been his best year of his career so far. And he's averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Anybody who knows me knows when Bradley Beal came out of Florida, I was a huge Bradley Beal fan. I was like, yes, he's a Wizard. Like, I was really, really excited. And I really just got in, followed him and was really just so excited. But he was plagued by injuries. So being able to sit back and watch how he's matured in his game is refreshing. I'm very happy for him. He's doing a great job. Let me also say, if only the Wizards could be consistent. It's still certain things, and we can talk about this more in another show and at another time. If it's like they got it there. Brad has been so consistent. So if the other guys can just, if they can just get that down, consistency is so key. And he's giving it his all every night. So I'm glad that he's a Wizard. Even when they're not playing well, he is. So for anybody that has any doubts, now Brad, look, if you're listening and if you're catching the replay, listen, don't start looking shady and looking suspect out there. Because I'm giving you all these shout outs today. Now, we sit there looking crazy. So I don't want to do that. But at the same token, Thomas Bryant is giving it his all. And I love the energy that he is playing with. Those two right there. If everybody else can come up on a consistent basis, it could be something really special, and we know that. We know that, but it's still something that's always kind of missing there, which prompts me to bring up an article that was put out there this week about Ted Leonce's comment about Ernie Grunfeld regarding, like, basically we'll see what happens at the end of the season. We'll see what happens with Ernie. Ernie is here. Ernie, he's the GM. I don't know what's going to happen with Ernie. I know a lot of people want Ernie to be fired, of course. Ernie is a master. We've heard the analogies of him being what is it? He's the arsonist, and he's, the firefighter. Like, he's putting out his own fires all the time. And then I'm like, yeah, but for some people that's good, right? Because that means he's a problem solver. So you can go back and forth all day about him being the one that starts these fires, and then he puts them out, because technically that's what you're supposed to do if you're putting them out. But if you're starting it, but it's only but so much of that you can take. So the Wizards, again, 3 games out of the playoffs. They can get those 3 games. Matt said they're going to get them. And Matt, listen, we're going to be looking crazy if they don't. We're going to be in there next week looking sad if they lose all these big games coming up. But it's good to see when they're on. It's good to see when they're on. And I appreciate that. Anyway, see, do I have anything else to say about the Wizards? No, because I ain't mad at them today. So I don't have nothing else to say about them right now. They did good. They did good. So it is Combine time. It is the NFL Combine, where all of those prospects for the NFL, they come together and they basically try out. It's a big workout taking place in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. So, what else can we say about this? It's so much going on with the Redskins and this quarterback situation. We've talked about it a lot. I've seen many mock drafts have the Redskins drafting a quarterback. I've seen them drafting, Daniel Jones from Duke, Drew Lock. Where's Drew Lock from? Missouri? I don't know if I got that right or wrong. Drew Lock. And I've even seen one that had them taking Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is all, Then I've seen a couple that said, no, they need to take an offensive lineman. If they let, friend of the show, Clinton Dix go, if they let him walk in free agency, they definitely need a safety. I'm gonna be honest with you all. I just don't feel confident that the Redskins are going to pick a quarterback. They're going to draft a quarterback. Something came out today with in the media in a Jay Gruden interview, and he's basically saying it depends, because free agency starts before the draft is at the end of April. Free agency is getting ready to start. It wouldn't shock me if they tried to pick up a free agent quarterback. And we could talk a little bit more on another show about which free agent quarterbacks would make sense. I got Kenneth Lash, has thrown out Tyrod Taylor, Sherrod Oliphant, throwing out Teddy Bridgewater, all for great reasons. There's also that confidence that the Redskins have in Colt McCoy. They are not counting out Colt at all. They're not counting him out. So I don't know if they're going to draft the rookie at 15. A rookie quarterback. Of course they're going to draft a rookie. A rookie quarterback at 15. I don't know. I'm not convinced. The Combine will be on and popping all weekend long. So I will be tuned in. I hope you all are going to be tuned in. because it, for me, I won't be able to know or to see until after that, like, okay, these are the guys the Redskins really, really, really need to be looking at, because there's so many deficiencies. We need a quarterback. So we'll see what happens. The combine will be on and going. And so, hey, who knows, who knows, who knows. But I think we might be at our time for this evening. Doing a time check. Okay, we might have just one more minute. So, hey, listen. Definitely get your friends involved in DC Sports Talking, all from 7:30 to 8 p.m. every Thursday. As y'all can see and as y'all can hear, we have a whole lot of fun in here. Whole lot of fun. It's never a dull moment in DC Sports. Not ever. We thought it was going to be a little dry, but guess what? It's never dry. Because it just can't be. It's too much talent, and then there's too much drama going on at the same time. But guess what? We are at our time. Thank you all so much for joining, and we will see you next Thursday. Have a good night.
Sports is what we do. It's the fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, doubleheaders, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple-double. Make that double front flip.